What's up everybody, welcome to the stream, just getting things set up, won't be too long. What's up everybody, welcome. So the plan for tonight is, you will have seen the recorded videos of us getting the Triglavians, let's get the words out, there we go. Triglavians in high sec. We're going to run this live so you can see it all live. I'll give you some tips, bit of advice. It's going to be a bit of a high concentration environment, so apologies in advance if I miss some of the comments in the channel. I'll be scanning the comments, but obviously you'll see that it is quite intense sometimes, so we don't want to lose an expensive Tengu if we don't have to. So we're going to go through a few key points. So we're going to go through finding the Triglavians, we're going to go through scanning them down using D-scan, and with sort of tips and advice on how we're going to not die, if you like. We might die. If we do, good fights in local and all that business. So we'll get going. Just going to do a little bit of a Z-kill thing. So in the previous video I showed how to find the Triglavians. So in the previous video, if you check the link, and there we go. There you go. Enjoy. In the link in the previous video, we've got the Triglavian entities. So this is where they are at the minute. So we've got Itchy. So these are where people have died. So this isn't like a 100% guaranteed way of finding out where they are, but this is recent activity. So anything within the last hour or two, this is where we're going to be looking at. So we need to look at the main trade routes as well, because one of the strategies is to look after the trade routes, because if we can pull the aggression off the gates, then people are going to survive longer. They're not going to get podded, they're not going to get suspect on their loot that's just dropped. So the idea is to pull them away. So that's what we're going to try and do. So just going to have a look. They were in the system that I am in now, so we'll just have a little undock and have a bit of a D-scan and have a look. So immediately on undock we don't see anything on D-scan, so we're going to assume that this system's safe for the minute, but what we need to do is we need to warp to the sun. So if you warp to the sun, you're going to get a central point in the system. So we always warp to 100. We'll get our everything reloaded, so you'll see that my cargo setup is maybe a little different to what you've seen. So we'll just get the cloak on here. You must always be cloaked. So we drop, oh dear, drop that in there. Oh, I can't do it while I'm cloaked anyway. I'll go through that in a minute. Oh, nice sun. Nice sun. Okay, so we've got no Triglavians on D-scan. So let's see where we can go. So we'll go somewhere where it's a bit safe. So I think this is a new player hub, I'm not sure. So let's just have a little look. So that's going to be giving them a bit of a headache. So it's only 6 jumps away. So we'll go and travel. We'll get things set up. Okay, so some important key points now with these guys roaming around. Yo ASD. We're gonna warp everywhere cloaked. We're gonna jump the gate. We're going to hold our cloaks and have a quick D-scan and see what's going on. We need to treat this like it's wormhole space and nullsec space. So if you don't know what that's like, this is going to be a bit of a crash course. So we're always going to jump the gate. Yeah. Cargo. I'm just going to keep spamming D-scan just in case. Ah, right, okay. So it's not a safe system and they are still here. So that's good news, so that means we don't have to move. So as predicted, we're going to land on them. It's good news. So we're going to just turn the hardeners on a sec, accelerate to the gate, because they are going to engage us straight away. Spam jump, fine, we're clear. Okay, we're going to reapproach the gate and we're going to go back in. So we're just going to double check. So you can see it's quite fast paced, you've got to be quick here. So we're going to cancel the destination. Remove waypoint. So it might not be as chill as it first looks. So we're just going to hold our cloak. Have a little look around. So we're going to crash the gate. Okay. Right. Now, kit. So we're going to drop the Furies because we don't need them. I didn't get any intel of what was holding on the gate. So we're just going to have to just bear in mind what's on the gate. So if you're travelling now, you'll be tootling along, not know what's going on and what you're going to jump into. So this is what you need to do if you are not got a if you need a cloak either way. So if you've not got a Covert Ops fit ship, fit a Tech 1 cloak to your ship. If you jump into these guys, decloak and cloak up immediately, and they won't target you. Then you can slow boat approach to the gate, crash the gate, and you can escape. Okay, so that's one. You can fit a cloak to anything. So as long as you've obviously got the power grid and CPU, then you're good. So we're going to jump the gate. Jump, jump, jump. So just for clarity, this is solo. So there's nobody helping me. We're all on our own. Okay, so immediately we've got a practice on grid. We've got a renewing, blinding, tangling, harrowing, and a 1 anchoring lay shack. So we're going to immediately double click in space and cloak up. We are now safe. So that you can see they're going to start to approach us, but nothing's going to happen. So the technique here, set destination to the nearest station. We can quickly get some intel here. So renewing are your logi, blinding is sensor damps, tangling is a web, and anchoring is scram. So we're going to warp to the top station at 100, keep it set as destination. You'll see why we're going to do that in a minute. Yeah, you could, or you could have faster line ships. It's either way. There's different ways of doing it. You can have faster line ships that align away, nanofiber hulls, inertial stabilizers. There's all sorts you can do. But I've found 9 times out of 10 they lock too fast. Okay, so we arrive on station. There's nothing here. So a quick crash course in D-scan. We're still cloaked up. So this is the overview that I have set. So we're going to set the D-scan to 5. Okay, so the gate that we've just come from, probably not going to work because we're too far away. But basically we're going to hold the D-scan key and then we're going to click in space into the different celestials of where things are. Now that will come in handy later. We need to get a move on so they don't warp away. Okay, so we're going to warp to an RO at 100 and stay cloaked. Yeah, striking a kind of lodge as well. I'm getting my feet with this. I don't quite know all of them off the top of my head. I'm still sort of getting to grips with it all, but yeah, the guys and girls that know a bit more about this than me. So anyway, warp to 100. We should have reloaded our ammo, but we don't. See, these little things are going to make a massive difference, as you'll see in a minute. Okay, so we've landed on gate now. There's a Praxis here. I don't know what he's doing. So basically we set the destination to the top station and we're going to align. We're not going to decloak, we're not going to do anything, we're just going to align. Okay, so when we're at full speed align, there we go, so we're in a stable align. So the routine here, because we've not got the ammo loaded, is we're going to decloak, we're going to reload the ammunition and turn the harders on and prop mod, all in one go. Okay, so we're just going to group these. Okay, so decloak, prop mod on, Hardener on, reload Caldari Navy Scourge. Okay, now, as you can see, we're sort of going to start taking damage straight away. We need to keep an eye on distance. Anything gets close, like a tangling or a anchoring within 60 kilometers, we're warping away. Okay, so we're okay for a minute. Okay, so the harrowing is 96 away. Our range here is about 101, yep, but our targeting range is only 90. Now the primary here, because there's no anchoring frigates, is the tangling, because that's going to web. Okay, so we'll start engaging now. Okay, we're going to start locking up that tangling in a minute. It's still away, yeah, so 88. Okay, so we're going to start locking the tangling up now. Now, what's happening at the minute is they are repping the Vedmak. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly, when the tangling gets within 780-ish, we're going to switch to the tangling. Okay, so now we're going to switch. Now that Vedmak is going to start hitting us hard, so when the tangling is down, we're going to switch to Fury. So now we're going to put 750 in there, and then we're going to fill the crate up with Fury. Okay, so the Kiki's going down. Okay, good job, Kiki down. So then we're going to launch the tractor unit. We need to get some repairs on, and then we're going to load Fury. Fury is now loaded. Harrowing is still aligned, is still locked, so we're going to load Precision. Okay, we're going to start locking up, they're getting a little bit close now. Okay, so now we're going to go for the Vedmak. So the Vedmak should go down. The Vedmak is getting reps. We should be able to tank this easy. Vedmak is going slowly. Okay, we're going to start switching. We're going to stick with Caldari Navy because we are now in range. So we've pulled the aggression off the gate now. So now we've got Caldari Navy loaded with Precision. We're going to start playing with the damage between the two Damviks and the Vedmak, and we're going to keep cycling. As you'll see, they'll keep switching the reps. So it's easy to solo. One thing you've got to keep in mind is you've got to keep an eye on the escalation spawn. So that's Damvik down. Okay, these are going down well, nicely. Yeah, so one thing you've got to watch out for is a reinforcement spawn. And then anchoring. So if they warp on top of 0 and they anchor you up or warp scramble you, you're going to go down. Okay, so that's 2 down. Vedmak. And then we're going to start approaching the lay shack now, and we're going to kite the lay shack at our optimal range. Let's get rid of this. Don't need that. Okay, so the lay shack is now repairing the Vedmak, but we should be able to break the reps. Our optimal here is 82. So we're going to set default to 80 kilometers. You don't want to get within 70 kilometers of the lay shack. Not a good idea. So you'll see that retriever's probably glad that we're here. Okay, Vedmak going down. And the Vedmak is down. We're now going to orbit at our optimal on the lay shack. And actually, we're going to load Fury. We're just going to see what the range of Fury is, 62. But we can load. So you see we start taking damage from that lay shack now. 76. Let's go within 70, we can still tank. There's obviously different versions of the spawns, so difficulty wise. So Hospodar and Zor are the ones that you want to watch out for, because those are the ones that have increased difficulty. Should be able to hit from here. We're probably a little bit close, but we can still take it. It's no problem. I just used the Fury so that we can take them down a little bit faster. And then what we're going to do is we're going to warp out, and then we're going to warp back to the tractor unit. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it, and you can pull the aggression in. Also, if there's navy ships on gate, that's a good way to do it too, because you can split the damage that way. And the navy ships will scram the enemy for you. That lay shack's just melting now. Okay, so we're going to find the closest celestial to go to, which is going to be... Oh, can't go to the gate really. Go to this planet at 100 when the lay shack goes down, and lay shack down, so we're going to cloak up, we're going to get out of here. We're going to start spamming D-scan now and see what's going on. So we've got no backup spawn inbound, so we're safe enough to go to the tractor unit now. Yeah, you do. Sneaky, sneaky. So that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much how we do it. And we're gonna run that routine. We're gonna cycle the routine, and we're gonna come across things that we don't want to engage with, and we can go through that. So from a loot perspective now, so that took what? How long we've been on stream now? 19 minutes. So we've been on stream a little bit of a while. So we'll say that was 14 minutes or so. So always make sure you've got a full rack of Caldari Navy ammo. Hopefully they're not they've not landed. They might have done. Nope, they've not landed. So there is another spawn out there, so we're going to go find them in a minute. But we're just going to get the spoils first. So we're going to keep spamming that D-scan to make sure nothing's going to land. $10.6 million. So that was 14 minutes, so times that by 3, plus we're going to get some loot now. So this will probably be about 20 million, maybe. We need to make sure that we are 2,000 away from any object. The reason being is if they jump in, we can just cloak up and run away. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do nicely. We'll leave the tractor unit there for now. We'll go drop the loot off and then we'll come get it. Yeah, so quite straightforward really. The salvaging bit takes the time out of it. But it's worth the salvage. Do not leave the salvage. Sometimes the salvage can be worth more than the actual loot itself. We might actually be able to fit it in. So not a lot really from the salvage, less than expected. So we need to save 100 meters cubed for the tractor unit. Nah, so Bob says no. So we'll scoop the tractor unit up. We'll go and drop the loot off because we don't really want to have a full load. So let's just see where we've got nothing stored here. So we'll just use this station and then we're going to descan on the way down. So cloak up. Or not. Oh wait, we missed one. Oh no, don't we want that Kikimora wreck. Oh. Bad eagle. Bad. Oh, it's because when I click off screen, so when I click off screen and go to the to Firefox, it flicks screen. It's really annoying. But I don't really know what to do about that. I think it's because I'm on two screens, so it basically goes to show the desktop without me doing anything. Naughty computer. So I like this because it's good. It's good ISK. Can take a bit of time sometimes. It's not the best ISK per hour when you do it solo, especially if you're going salvaging. But it's different and it's safer than doing it in Pochevin. I haven't tried it in Pochevin yet. This strategy. I'm not quite sure how it would go. Don't know. But once I've got enough ISK, then we'll do it. We'll do it. Once this Tengu's paid for itself, and we're halfway there, so we'll go and do it. Okay, so we'll go and drop the loot off, cloak up, and we'll descan on the way down. So we start at 360 scan. Let's pull this out. So we're going to start at 360 scan, and we've got a hit. So they could be anywhere within 16 AU. We've still got a hit off station. Still got a hit. Just spamming descan. So when we undock, once we've dropped the loot off, we can undock, and then we can start running our descan routine. Should really warp to the sun, because your sun is your central point, and generally they'll sit within 16 AU around the sun anyway, unless they're at a gate. That's what I've found. I don't know if that's a thing. This music, we're all going to be asleep. There we go. There's some tunes missing off this. I don't know where they are. No idea. Right, so in here, so we're going to drop this, I'm going to drop this, and then we'll keep a total of what? So 11.6 million so far. Not brilliant, but better than nothing. You can do, but you'll probably lose it, in fairness, because they sometimes walk back. That's why I've got the cloak. Descan. Okay, so we've got, on descan, we've got tangling, renewing, demovich. So we've got no anchoring on descan. We've got a liminal lay shack, that'll have nice loot in it. So we're going to go straight to 5. We're going to align to the sun, just in case. Okay, so we set to 5 degrees, remember? So we do planets first. So, planet, 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 planet. There we go. So what's that planet there? So that is planet B11. So we'll align. And what do we have there? So we've got 1 asteroid belt, a station, and a planet. So the first thing we'll do, we shall walk to the asteroid belt, because that's where they like to go. So we'll cloak up, set destination to the top station, just so it's visually easy to see to warp out. So they're not here. So they're not here, and they are not at the station. Where are they then? Not at the planet. So there's something in between. They do have a habit of bouncing around as well. And they could be in a safe actually, or at the wormhole. They're not coming up on descan. So they're still on range. Maybe they're at the sun. Nope. Gate. Nope. There they are. They're at the station. So they must have been in warp. So we'll warp to 100 cloaked. There's no anchoring, so we're good. We're not going to go to that station now, because they're at that station. So we're going to set destination to the other station. They could be there, actually. Nope, they're on grid. Oh, good. So they're not engaged. So align out. Okay, now this is going to be interesting because we've got a liminal Kikimora and a liminal lay shack. Now we're okay with the lay shack because we're going to be staying out of the lay shack's range. Just make sure we've got the right ammo loaded. Yep, got the right ammo loaded, right script loaded. So primary is going to be... we'll probably go for the tangling actually. Let's go. There's no anchoring, so we don't need to worry. So we're going to get primary straight away. Prop mods on. Okay, so we're going to lock the Damavich up now. And now the blinding. So the Damavich is closest, so we're going to start hitting that first. So we need to be within 86 kilometers. So he's starting to take reps now from the Kikimora. So they're kiting us a little bit now. So we're going to stop DPS. We're going to do one cycle of the prop mod off because they're kiting our damage. So we can lock the tangling up, prop mod back on. So the Kikimora going to lock this Kikimora up because the Kikimora is doing quite good reps. So you see we need a bit of higher DPS to take this. But once we get one or two, then just going to do a couple of cycles of overheat. As soon as this goes down, then we're going to hit the Kikimora. Okay, so a couple of volleys now. And then we're going to switch immediately from range to precision. Okay, so now the Kikimora is primary. Precision script loaded. We don't particularly want the Kikimora getting within 25 because the liminals do more DPS. And we don't have a web. Back on the overheat. So the Kikimora is getting reps. See what's repping it. Okay, so we nearly burnt our guns out there. I'm going to switch to the Drek. Okay, good. So you see the amount of reps that are coming in now. So that Lashak has got massive rep range. So you can see the repair chain. So the Kikimora is still being repped, so now the chain is going round to the Drek. So as soon as the Drek starts taking reps, we're going to switch DPS again. The volleys might take it down. Yeah, so a couple more volleys now. Okay, his tank's broken, hopefully. Then we're going to go on the blinding Kikimora. Tractor unit down. That's going down easy. So that Kikimora down. So the liminal should go down faster now. Yeah. Well, you see he's kiting our damage there. Until he goes still. Okay, so it's taking reps from the renewing Reykjavik. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was gonna be a oops. Music, music, music. Damovich now. There we go. So we're going to start approaching the lay shack now. Remember, I'm going to try and have a wider orbit on the lay shack. So we'll go 80. So we're getting low on Caldari Navy. That's a liminal, so we need to be careful with this. That lay shack is going faster than us, so he's going to get on top of us. Just give a cycle on the prop mod. Switch to Fury. So the beauty, so we're established in a fight there now. So the beauty of doing this in high sec is that we don't need to worry about not being able to stock up in Pochevin. We don't need to worry about getting jumped on. I mean, obviously we've got the usual high sec gank stuff going on, we don't need to really worry about that too much. And yeah, it's pretty much just that little bit safer. Not sure if we're going to out DPS this liminal damage wise, because as you can see, he's getting closer. And we don't really want him that close. Yeah, so the skin is the winter event skin, which is really nice. So this is going to be I think this, between me and this lay shack, is going to be either me cap out or his armor goes. It's going to be a close one. So his volleys are getting quite big now as he's getting closer. So it's just a case of if we can make sure we get through his structure quickly. Don't really want to use any cycles on the overheat. I think we can still get this. So close on that last volley. Just a quick reload. Yep, so we got this. That's a good kill, that. So I'm hoping that there's some good loot in this one. So we'll go and have a look. Yeah, it might happen, you never know. Yeah, I'm just going to slow boat to this one now. I need to check the music out actually, because it feels like there's something missing. Yeah, I will. I'll go and repair in a minute. Audio. So, what's missing? If I go like this, and like that. I don't even know what's going on with it. Oh, we're in warp distance to the tractor unit as well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, so as you can see, it's not straightforward, it's not easy, it's not quick, but it's effective, and it's a little bit fun, a little bit different. So, it wasn't even worth the ammunition. 1 million. Oh, and 22.8k. Excellent. See what's in the tractor unit? It could be the security status zone that we're in though, to be fair. Didn't think about that. Okay, so we've got reinforcements spawning, and just need to move quite fast here. So we're going to align. We've got no anchoring, so we're straight back in a fight here. I want my loot first. 12 million in loot. The question is here, do we engage? We'll come back. We're going to come back to that. We'll go dock up, repair, and then we'll come back to that fight. Okay, so if anyone saw the problem just now, there is a little bit of a problem. So just repair. So if you look outside, they have camped the station. So we just see what range we are, what's around. So there's nothing that we can warp to. I'm just going to dock on dock a sec. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, so this is where we decide whether we're going to be able to get out or not. Yeah, let's try. There's no anchoring, so we're going to try and warp to 100. And we're out. We're going to cloak up. And then we'll warp back to the tracked unit at 50, we don't need to warp at 100. Always remember to warp cloaks though. Okay, so we're going to take this fight too. We're just going to approach the tractor unit to start off with. Set where we're going as destination. The reason why we do that is so we know what we're aligning to. This is where a really long range snipe would come in super handy. So if you're wondering what we're doing, just keep an eye on range here. So as soon as they sort of get to 100 or 90 within our targeting range, then we're going to flip round and start approaching our line out point. Okay, so we're going to align out now. Target the liminal. Start applying DPS. Those liminals are going to hit quite hard. So we're going to get precision scripts loaded. Start targeting the Redeemer. Don't think it's taking reps. Not sure. No, it's just tanking us and it's doing 1.8 meters per second, so... Oh, here we go, so it's taking reps now from the Redeemer. No, we need to do that one, don't we? Why? All confused. So that bed mark's established now, so we don't really want to put DPS on that now. So we're going to quickly switch, because I think it's out of range for everything else. So there's actually two renewings on grid, so it's something that we've got to be mindful of. So we're actually kiting our guns now, our missiles now. So this could be a little bit tricky. Yeah, so the liminals, they have better weapons and basically a better ship overall, so they're a bit stronger, but we might be able to break this, so we'll see. Okay, it's first liminal down, so now we'll go on to the next. Okay, so the liminal going down as I aggress the entire spawn now. So they'll start burning towards us, but I'm hoping that we can get the rest of these two down before we do that. Okay, so that's that Damavic going down now. Damavic. And then we're going to reload onto this Kikimora in a minute. Just want to make sure that this goes down first, because I think the ghost in his guidance disrupting us. I don't think the Kikimora is going to get in range before we start opening fire. Yeah, we got a cheeky little Korax here, look. I know, right? How cheeky is that? See if we can freak him out in a minute. Should we drag the spawn with us? Whoa, run, little Korax, run! We're in a salvage off now. Silence. I'm not actually sure, to be fair. I haven't tried it. I don't think so. I think it's mainly due to they're more of an AoE ship, and the actual alpha DPS isn't very high. So I don't know is the question. It might be worth hitting the EdenCon guys up and asking them. I can find out for you and let you know definitely. But as far as I'm concerned, I have no idea. I mean, I've got one of the Edencon frigates, the Stormbringer, is it? Or Stormbreaker, Skybreaker, whichever the frigate one is, and it does low DPS, but from an AoE perspective, it does quite high DPS. But I've tried to run a 4 of 10 in it, and it'll kite it really easily and tank it really easily, but it won't alpha DPS it. It just won't do it. So you can't get to the last room. Looks like I won the loot fight. 8 million in loot. Don't know what he's got though. Let's go and finish these off now. Yeah, that's not something I've done. I think getting your pro trig standings is good. I've been told what might be a good idea is to go into Potchovan and gain positive standings, and then I can pick my fights a little bit better. But the trouble is, I think if you start doing that, you're going to mess around with your navy standings, because the drone standings got nerfed. I think they got removed from the game, so the only way is to get game standings with both is to do the drifters. So I'm not too sure. I don't know enough about it, to be honest. Oh, sorry, misread your question. Still, I don't know. I think you would have to look at... Well, we can have a look in a minute. Give me a minute. Basically, what you're looking at, if you think about... This is the way I see it, is that this particular event, or chapter, if you like to call it, is based on Drifter AI, isn't it? So the ships are actually pretty close to what you can make in the real world, so from a player perspective. So you can take one of the trig ships and you can fit it out so it behaves exactly the same. That's what I'm led to believe. Now, if you, for example, realise about the low alpha on the Edencom ships, if you can negate the low alpha, which I think the damage type is EM, so if you heavily tank... can't remember, actually. Just keep an eye on what's going on here. Yeah, we're safe. So if we keep an eye... If we have a look at what the ammunition is. So condenser pack. So advanced condenser pack, let's assume it's a cruiser. So they're going to hit you heavy with EM and kinetic. So if you base your fits around the fact that you're going to be getting sorry, just to make sure I'm not going to die. It's going down really slowly. I don't know whether they're holding here. It's going down really slowly. Yeah, so if you look at this, so the most damage that they could do to you is 402 EM and 379 plus any additional damage mods that they've got. So what you're looking at, My mind's gone blank. So about 800 hit points per however many cycles there is. So if we remember 800 turrets, photon projectors, Tech 2. So the cycle time is 5 seconds. So 200. So you're looking at about 150 DPS per second per ship that you've got a tank, plus any damage mods. So from a tank perspective, it's probably very similar to the Triglavians. But the Trigs deal out explosive and kinetic damage. So it's all dependent on your fit. From a DPS, from a tank perspective, so we want. There's no Tech 2 variation, so I don't think you're even going to get them on there. Storm. Oh no, should we not screw this up? Let's just not screw this up. Just 1 second, just get the cycle going. There we go. So Storm, Finbringer. Yeah, we're doing okay. He's going down. He's going down. So he's well in deep into structure now. Oops. Nice little skin there. Right. So they are a shield tank. So naturally, because it's Eden, if you got to think about the story, so or the what's the word? The lore of it. So you've got Trigs. It's a bit similar to Garistics and Caldari, isn't it? So the Triglavians deal explosive damage and kinetic damage. So the Edencom ships are naturally going to be tanked heavily against kinetic and explosive. Now, but they deal in EM for whatever reason, don't they? EM and kinetic. I don't know why they don't deal in explosive, but I don't know. It's up to CCP, isn't it? So if you are going to go, you could use the Tengu. Not sure because they like speed, don't they? So if they're going to speed tank you, I suppose on paper, if you look at it, you could go in there with heavy Molnias and kite them the same way that you do the Trigs. I would imagine it's going to be the same or very similar. Like I say, I don't know, but you can't do it in high sec. What's ASD done? Delete. Don't know. What's picked you up for some reason? Yeah. So if you're going to go in with Molnias, I suppose you can do it. Like I say, there's ASD in here that does. Yeah, maybe Vorton Tech wouldn't allow for explosive damage. Maybe, I don't know the lore. That's a good story, isn't it? Might be worth a Google actually. I'll have a look at that later on. Bit of bedtime reading. My poor missus. So yeah, I suppose if you're going with EM, even though they're going to plug the EM and thermal holes, aren't they? So I'd imagine they're going to omni tank. So I mean, yeah, I suppose you could, really. I'd want to plug the Tengu's EM hole, because, well, if you look at this, it's actually plugged on this, but I don't think I need to. So I've got 50% EM damage resistance. I mean, I just don't know is the answer. It might be worth a test. Yeah, it's Space Taser, yeah. I'm not quite sure how you would change this fit. I mean, you could go for an EM Hardener somewhere. So instead of your guidance computer, you could put an active EM Hardener in there. And that would probably bring you up to about, I don't know, let's have a look. But you're gonna have to plug this EM hole. So look at us taking on the Trigs and just talking about fittings, basically semi-AFK. EM shield hardener. There you go. So you're omni tanked up to about 67%. With you don't need to worry about your explosive resistances. So yeah, I'd give it a go. Oh, what have you done? Timed out by. I don't know what you've done. Why it's timed you out? Why has it timed you out? I need to have a look at that. Let's have a look. I don't know. I don't know. I've no idea. Let's just have a look at the bot. What have you done? It says it's timed you out for 300 seconds. Spam. So caps protection. There isn't even any protection on there. So caps protection, link protection, and banned words. Ah, have you used a banned word? No, there's no banned words. What have you done? No, I don't know what it's done. It doesn't even tell me what his last message was. Hold on. Oh, I see. Use too many caps. That's why. Don't use caps. You upset the bot. 15 million. There we go. I don't even know how to untime you out. I haven't got one. So medium, small. So yeah, so I'm gonna loot these up and then I'm gonna head off. But yeah, thanks for watching. Always a pleasure to you guys to show you these things. So let's just have a quick look, see what's going on in system. Ah, so we've got a big spawn. Okay, so this is something that you might not want to take on. But there's no anchoring, don't think. No, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanglings, which are basically your web. So I'm sorry, Eventon, that you've been you've been hit with a moderation stick there. I hope you're still here. I need to try and turn that down. So, oh, okay, it's because caps protection's on. Wait, so let's custom message you used. You used too many caps. Yeah, 40 million, nearly 100 million in 40 minutes. I didn't realise that. I don't think I was talking then. I don't think it came out, but yeah, he used too many caps. Yeah, so 100 million for this little run. So far, we've been looking about 100 and... don't know. What? So we've been running an hour. We've got 40 million in the hangar. No, 20 million in the hangar. So 120, 130 million an hour so far. We could probably go and do more. Just see what this liminal gets. We'll go and check out that big spawn and then. But he basically said, yeah, I'll copy and paste his message. It's probably going to time me out now. Nope, there we go. That's what he said. Oh, we didn't get any loot from the liminal. We've also had a new subscriber. I don't know who it is though because the bot's not working properly. So you're free. Welcome back. I've done the timeout to 30 seconds. You're free. I know. You're welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, so like I was just saying, we're probably on about 120 mil an hour. We could probably do it a bit quicker. Ooh, why can't I move that? So we're gonna go dock up and repair. Any alternative to the tactical cruisers for this content? Would something like a Sentry Dom or Rattlesnake do fine, or is that overkill? Do you know what? I'm going to show you something. I'm glad you mentioned that, because this, you say that's overkill, right? But I'm going to have to go to one of my video here. Just, oh, all right. Just let me show you this. Wait, before we do this, no, let's be sensible. Scoop to cargo hold. Let's just be sensible for a second. I'm going to dock up there. We're going to count the spoils. Okay, so is a rattlesnake overkill? Look at this. Okay, so this came through on the Edencom thing somewhere. Now, Proteus. Somebody's tried it in a Proteus. Dead. Okay, so they thought they could try it on a Proteus. 500 million. Boom. Gone. Megathron. Gone. Okay. These could be travel, but they're not. A Loki. Gone. Gnosis. Gone. Okay. Wait. Nearly died then. Showing you this. I was nearly on that kill mail then. Okay, so gone. What else? There was something earlier on. Somebody tried it in a Loki. They commented on a video. Tried it in a Loki. 1.5 billion Loki. Dead. And then it came through about someone tried a rattlesnake, and I found it on here, and I couldn't believe it. I just need to find it. Rattlesnake. 1.2 billion rattlesnake. Republic Fleet. Caldari Navy. Domination. B-type. Multispec. Gone. 1.2 billion. Don't know the full story on this, but they basically had the rapid heavies on, so it was the same as the Tengu idea. So it was the heavy missiles, and they've gone in, and it's dead. And they've tried to use a micro jump drive. So I can tell you exactly what's happened here. They've jumped in at either gone in at 0 or 100, and thought, well, if the spawns are too big, I'll jump drive away. And it hasn't worked because the anchoring shut down the micro jump drive. Now this is a passive fit. Now I assume what's happened here is they've put it into PYFA, and the EHP has gone through the roof on this, because it will do. I mean, I don't even know. There's got to be. It must be in well over 100,000. Yeah, there's someone on Facebook as well. So you say 1.5 billion Loki. Somebody lost a 3 billion Tengu doing this yesterday. But they was doing other stuff. So I think it's not so much the price of the ship, and it's not so much the shine that you've got on it, it's the tactic that you do. So going in at 100, aligning out, checking out what you've got going on, going in cloaked, and that pretty much do it. If I undock here and start orbiting the station, I'm probably going to die. So it's the tactic about it, it's not so much... I mean, I could bling this out big time. We could go A-type, can't really do much with that. Could go Caldari, well, could go a B-type Hardener, and we could go A-type Booster. We've already got one Caldari Navy, we could put another one in. So this is pushing 755 million. If I lose it, I can replace it. I've just finished. We're going to count the loot now. So we'll see how much we've made just in this one stream, and this is just messing around. So 85 million, and that is in 2 sites. 85 million. So we probably could have run double that, really. But yeah, it is a weird fit. Looks like a weird fit and not shooting down the right ships in the right order. Yeah, probably. And also, what people tend to do is they use so here's a good thing. So this is what... Oh, there's more. 92 million, 92.5 million. So at Jita, that's probably 100 million. Hey. Yeah, so here's as a bit of a guide for people that don't really know. So when you've got... What have you done? You want a fight? Why am I not a mod? You want a fight? You've been timed out. Use too many caps. Okay, so when you use Tech 2 missiles, they go for the Tech 2 missiles, which is what I used to do. So precision for the frigates, low signature radius, and Furies for the bigger stuff. But the Caldari Navy Nova against this kind of thing from range works better. You can pull 100 kilometers range, and the damage will apply better at range than... Yes, you did use caps. Watch. I'll show you. Watch. Oh, I didn't use caps. Not at all. Yeah, so the Caldari Navy, let me just see if I can. So maximum velocity 4.3k, explosion radius 140, explosion velocity 85. Okay, so I don't know if I can open a second window. No. Can we flip between the two? Yeah, so there you go. So you see the difference. So basically the flight time, the explosion radius and the explosion velocity is very similar. However, this has got a longer flight time. So it's pretty much the same as a precision missile. But you have YouTube set on normal latency, don't you? Not low. No, I think it's set on low. But for some reason I just got a drop to 0 at about 10 to 10. Don't know why. Stream is delayed. Oh yeah, it is always. My stream is delayed by about a few seconds, I think. Possibly. But I take my chat off the YouTube screen and not the other screen. So we're just going to do a quick... Let's just go here. So I like to keep a bank of about 500 per missile. I don't really need many precision. Oh, I've actually got no Caldari Navy Nova left. A slight delay. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not sure how much more we can get done here though. Let me just have a look. We don't have much Caldari Navy left. No. Ooh, look at this. Shall we go be naughty? Let's go 100. Somebody didn't want these. D-scan, what we got going on? So we're all going to be asleep with the music. Ooh, again. I didn't rep. Oh no, I didn't. And I think they've closed the wormhole anyway. I didn't rep, but what we're going to do, we're going to go ninja this loop. Yeah, see, this is... I took a break for a while. And then I came back about 6 months ago, so I missed all this out. So I didn't really do it. Well, I can't stay working just so you live. Oh, thanks for popping by. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. But this content is different, apparently. My arm close. This content apparently is slightly different to what was before. Because I'll show you why. What should we go for? That one. There we go. This content is different to the content before, apparently. Yeah, see you soon, EOT. In the event, in the what's it called? In the anomalies, apparently the tank, the DPS, and the overall setup of them was different, and they were strong, but there's something different about these ones. Now these ones are omni-tanked, so they're very, very similar to drifters. I'm not too sure previously what they were like before, but if you remember going back, probably 2000 and way back, 14, 15 maybe, when the drifters invaded high sec. I know they're invading high sec now, but if you remember, you could escalate. I don't know if you still can when there's an observatory, but you could escalate them to the gates where you got the Doomsday drifter battleships and cruisers. They behave very similar, which brings back quite a lot of memories. So I don't know whether CCP have taken the code from that setup and then threw it into this, and then they've just decided, instead of having the Hovey observatories, to now having a wormhole that opens, which gets you into, it's multi-role, so it gets you into Potchovan. But nobody's really doing this. I've only seen a very small group of probably 4 people so far in doing this. I think I've just seen where the delay is actually. Ah, yeah, I see what the delays. The delay's my fault. The delay's because I'm reading the chat off Firefox and not off the actual stream, so I'll do it off that. Yeah, so it behaves the same. So I was saying then, lost my train of thought. Yeah, so I've only seen 4 people do this. I think the more people that do this, I think CCP are going to then either one, nerf it because of the loot, or they'll change something, because right now basically it's an ISK sync, isn't it? So the goal at the minute, which they said in one of the dev blogs, was to remove... Oh, did you really? Are you new? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you'd been in a while. I'm a bit of a relic. I've been doing this since 2010. So I think this character's actually probably one of my oldest characters. Yeah, look. 2010. So, yeah, it is, yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, so in one of the dev blogs, it's an ISK sync, and the idea is that there's too much ISK in the game, I think. So what they want to try and do is to try and lower the ISK and generate content at the same time, which is good. It is good. It's a good idea. I'm all for it. But we've also got all the high set gankers going around at the minute, and all the snipers, which is fine. Whatever floats your boat. I'm not about to call that, but if you've got these guys sitting around on a gate, they're going to stop all the gate camps. They're going to stop all the stuff like that, and it'll heighten people's awareness. Now, it does negate the fact for autopilot a little bit in high sec, so you've always going to have to be at your keyboard when you move expensive stuff around, which is fine. It's still fine again. You're going to get rid of the bots and stuff like that. But also think of it the other way. They're jumping into all the asteroid belts. So where do you find bots? You find them in the asteroid belts. So it's going to sort of clean that bit up, I think, which is good. I'm all for this kind of content. I just hope that they don't nerf it too much, because once people get on the back of this, maybe this, you know, there's tornadoes, there's naggers that can do this. This is the first Tengu I've seen do it. There probably is other people that do it. This is something. Basically, what happened was I wanted to try something new, because I took a bit of heat and I thought, well, what can I do to try something different and new, and that I've not seen anyone do yet? And this is it. So this might be the start of something or it might be going on, I don't know, but I think this is going to be the start of something good, potentially. So we didn't get enough there. So like I say, I'm new to this, and I think there's a lot of players that are new to this kind of gameplay, especially in high sec. There's one guy that was running it today, and he was doing it in a tornado. He had positive standings, so he was warping in and they weren't tackling him, and then he'll snipe them from range. I didn't repair again, but yeah, we'll see. It's good at the minute. Enjoy it, and you can make some good ISK as well. Like what we've done. We've had a bit of a chat. We've talked about other stuff, and we've made 120 million ISK. Yeah. It is a raw material. They have been stockpiled for years. So if you think, if you remember when the material changes came in and the price of titanium went through the roof, that's when you saw all the big freighters. It also, as well, it's kind of cut the supply line between Amar and Jita. So I think Amar's seeing a little bit more trade. I don't know. I don't think they are. Because I don't think you can. Yeah, I think it's more deleting it from the game and flooding the markets. But it's all hearsay. I mean, if you go into the forums and having a look, you can really break this down, and it gets really complex, doesn't it? For a video game. But yeah, I think there's greater things. But I think they're going in the right direction, though. I really do. I'm not quite sure what it's going to do to nullsec. Not sure. There's another conversation. I don't know if you're talking in stations. They were talking about. Yeah, they've just prolonged it. Yeah. They're talking about if. Oh, we're not closed. Let's not do that. Get a bit of cold air. Turn the heating up. They're talking about. If they get rid of stations, should there have been a fifth empire? I don't think the story's finished with the Trigs. I think on the face of it, it looks finished, and the end of the chapters. I think we're just seeing the start of it. Okay, so 5 degrees. This is probably going to be my last spawn now, because I've not got much ammo left to have a dance around. Yeah, reserved for the jokes. Well, I mean, you know Jay, you know Bonkers, don't you? Really nice guy. And a while ago we had a really good chat about all the videos. Now it's really good if you can look back. If you can look back at all the videos. Needed a drink. Sorry. If you look back at all the videos and look at the story over the last couple of years, there's quite a lot of different spins you can take on it. For example, if you look at the last one, there's a strange voice in the what's going on here? They're either at that gate or there. There's a strange voice in the leader of the Eden Comp. I forget her name now. Sky Marshal. And there's a theory out that the Hive may have taken over Eden Comp, but I don't know. I mean, they have the lore to back up that they are part of the original humans. They have a fleet of ships, their own systems, etc. Are you talking about the Hoves? The Joves? I mean, the Joves, but I mean, I was looking back at some of the Eve Chronicle stuff, and if you look at where the Capsuleer came from, so tell me I walked to 100. Oh, there's a Cormorant gone down. Poor guy. So let's see what we can do here. We're probably not going to do much here, to be fair. We'll try. Oh, the Triglavians. I'm not sure. They're a Hive, aren't they? They're dead. Yeah, they're a Hive. So I think they're linked. I mean, I'm not sure. It sounds like a Drifter kind of story. But if you think of the Capsuleer, of where the Capsuleer came from, so obviously they were on a planet and they were exploring and they were conquering systems, and then they found the Caldari found a dismantled Eve gate. Sorry, the Amarians found a dismantled Eve gate. So they built the Eve gate, and that was how they got into New Eden. How New Eden was born, I think. The Caldari wasn't so lucky. So the Caldari built. I think they built a machine. I'd have to read back into it, and then they managed to get into New Eden that way. But the hull closed when they went through, so they were stuck in one system. So they had to build the technology to get out and roam the systems. I think that's sort of the way that I was going with that. Now, the question is where did that technology come from? Well, it come from the Joes, didn't it? So the Milky Way humans discovered a way to control singularities. Kind of. Do you know what? There's actually a blog on how an Eve gate works. It's how much in detail it went. They've gone into. So what they're saying is how an Eve gate works. So you look at it. If you look here, it's always pointing at something. Hope a new faction of pirates are created using trig technology and with love and a march. You need to go and have a read. Go onto the forums and have a look at the lore that's going in to the Amar and the Triglavians. Go and have a read. It's a really good read. So how an Eve gate works, basically, it's like a wormhole. So you see it's pointing at this star here. So there's a gate on either side. Basically, when the gate is activated, it opens up a hole on both sides, and then it bends space-time. So it basically puts a worm. If you look at a flat piece of paper and draw a snake down from one gate and a snake down from another gate, what the Eve gate does, it bends that gap and causes a bridge. So it doesn't go in a straight line. It actually goes through a snake tunnel down from one side and up. And there is actually an article on that, and it's a good read. But you sort of like super nerd mode there. But red and gold would look awesome. Do you know the Edencom skin is red and gold? Just throw that out there. So let's see what we can do. Rock mod on. So we've got no anchoring. So what we're probably going to do here is go straight for the Kikimora. But yeah, it is a supermassive wormhole, basically. And it's not point A to B. They fold to space-time. But I'll tell you what we'll do. Let me just get stable in this. I'll show you. Whoops. Let me just make sure we're not going to die. Oh, wrong missiles. How does a new gate work? I don't think this is going to last too long because I've only got one rack of ammunition left. Then we'll try and go Furies and Precision, but I don't think it'll work. We can do it for testing purposes. Yeah, so the gate. So there's a bit of a description about the gate. So it was basically... There's a common belief that several millennia ago, humanity's ancestors travelled through this gate, and then it's a stable wormhole to populate the New Eden cluster. When the wormhole later collapsed, the colonies were severed from the worlds, which are the four empires, which sustained them, bringing a dark age upon the uninhabitable worlds, and then millions perished during the chaos. So that's basically what we're talking about, the four empires, how they split, and then all the supply lines were cut from them. There's some really good stuff on here, but there is a picture. I desperately want to find it for you guys. That might be for another time, or for another video, I think. Yeah, so here, look, if you look here. So it is rumoured that the wrecks of many ships destroyed during the flowing time. The lack of wreckage detected by the scanners was not caused. Some say that the ancient vessels have been cloaked by the Jove to prevent advanced technology from falling into the wrong hands. The Eve Gate is part of the religious beliefs of Sisters of Eve, which is interesting, and they believe it to be a gift from God. But it wasn't a gift from God, was it? It was probably Jove technology. But you're going back like years of lore here. Yeah, followed along. Yeah, good. There is. I'm desperate to find this thing for you. Eve Gate. It's not called an Eve Gate, is it? It's a Stargate. Eve Stargate. How does it work? Stargates. Nope. Damn. Fiction Eve Online. Stargates. Probably killing the stream here. Here you go. Yeah, so New Eden is a galaxy. So, did you not know that? So, let's just go through this first. Yeah, you can pause the video and have a read of that and see what you think. Yeah, so if you speak to anyone from CCP, basically they had it's quite good, really. It's groundbreaking sort of stuff. So what they did was they had a cluster of, well, they had a computer program. And when New Eden was born, basically what they did was they hit a button, and that basically populated the whole of the universe. So they didn't plan it. They didn't say we're going to put this system here, we're going to put this system there. They basically caused a big bang in a video game. So when the computer system populated the systems, basically on day one of Eve, every single system, nobody, including CCP, knew what was at any of the systems at all. Nobody knew. So literally on the early days, everybody was exploring New Eden, and for the first time, the only person that knew anything about New Eden, well, when I say person, the only thing that knew about New Eden was the computer that generated it and the star map. So literally it was started in the center, and every single system was manually populated by the machine. Would love to see CCP make more intent to focus more on capsulators. When I play, I feel like a ship in space. Right. Okay. Now, this is where you sort of come into your own. So you make that story yourself. So every time, I mean, some people that come to the game nowadays, no, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, I mean this in a good way, they'll jump in and they'll be like, right, I've done all the tutorials, what do we do now? I've heard about this amazing game and I've no idea what to do. So yeah, that's where CCP probably need to focus on. I see what you're saying, the capture layer as a whole. It's the story. Yeah, you are. You're linked to your ship. So if you've ever watched the first video, basically you were a human in a medical facility. They plugged wires into your head, and then they killed you. Effectively, you basically died. But when you died, you transferred your consciousness into a computer, a hive. So you basically, your consciousness is in a hive, similar to drifters, right? So when you're in your pod, flying around in space, here we go. There's a corpse up there. Let's go and have a look at this. Here we go. Look at this. I wonder if we can see the corpse. Hey, there he is. Look at that. Hey, how's that? Great for the conversation. So, this is great for explaining. So you're in a pod, right? And this is your body, right? And all these wires. Have you ever seen like the Matrix and stuff like that? So you're basically plugged into your pod, right? Now, when you die and all these wires come disconnected from your pod, your consciousness gets transferred from here somehow into your medical facility, clone facility, right? Now, if you think about that technology, it's drifter, hive technology, isn't it? So this is where the lore thing starts thinking, well, where do we come from? Well, where do we actually come from? And the Hove, that's where the Hove sort of space is. This thing, that's my spin on it. It's quite interesting, really, I suppose, if you're into it, but don't need that anymore. But yeah, so yeah, you link to your ship, and you're a clone. When you die, you don't really die. You're just I don't really know what you are, but you die, and then your consciousness gets transferred. But there's some good videos on it. If you have a look at some of the original videos, and I'll tell you what. Here we go. Let's have a look. So let's just have a look. I like to do this. I'm sure CCP won't mind either. I've got a bit over time, but EVE Online, Capsule, what's the intro? So this was 3 years ago. You may have seen this, I don't know. Let's just make sure. I'm going to put this here just to make sure that we're not going to put that, all my stats there. Look at that. Not even mine, but here we go. You ready? Now, I don't know whether this is the intro.
Of the Capsule.
So.
A sacred act. Immutable. And profound. Mind and machine.
Right, well, I'm going to show you the Hove video in a minute, one of the early ones.
Fused with power beyond mortal limits. United with destiny. A ship.
Okay.
And its heart.
So you're a clone.
They are one.
You're one. So the hive.
uncharted void. A galaxy where power and wealth spur humankind. Where four great empires seed the fractured renaissance.
So you get that. So you can see, you have to listen. CCP are very, very clever. Listen to the wording that they tell you. There's always a meaning in what they say. Right, okay. So ship and Capsulae are connected as one, because you're connected to a ship, right? But then we go, so let me see if I can search this. Hove in trailer. I think it's emergent threats. I'm not sure. Oh, hey DBNX. So, just 1 second. I'll answer your question. I have a question for you from the cheap seats. Oh, there's no cheap seats in this place. They're all free. How do you use scripts, and why doesn't everyone use them? Right. Okay. Scripts are dependent on fit. So I use scripts. And you have to have a module for those scripts, right? So the scripts that I'm using on a missile guidance computer here. So missile guidance computer, and in that you can load missile precision script or missile range script. So missile precision makes you hit larger missiles in. So like for example, it makes the requirement. What's the best way of describing it? Let's see what it does. That's the best way of describing it, isn't it? So it basically modifies the explosion radius and velocity of your missile, making it hit harder, hit faster. So if it's basically trying to kite you, then it's gonna hit harder, basically. But you lose the missile velocity and flight time. So there's caveats to everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. I'm not quite sure how much loot we got here, because there wasn't really. So we probably got another 15 million. Right, isn't the entire Stargate system made by the Hove? Right, well this is the thing. This is where you need to read the lore. So, the Amarians found a broken gate. So they repaired the gate, and it transported them into New Eden. Okay. The technology is technically unknown, right? But whoever put it there, essentially the Hove, are supposed to be hiding something. So they've cloaked something up, or that at least what the story used to be. I'd have to read the story in between the lines now, but the problem is that particular story with the Drifters and the Hove, it's taken a different sideline because we brought the Triglavians into it. I feel it's what I would like to see, and I feel that it might happen, is that CCP goes, right, we've got the four empires, we've now got the Triglavians, we've got the broken Edencom, and we've got the Drifters, and we've got the Hove, assuming that the Drifters and the Hove are different people, right? Because the Drifters are a hive, similar to the Triglavians, right? No, I don't think they are. Hove space is supposed to be dev space, right? Unless you're a dev, who knows? But yeah, it's supposed to be used for testing, but I'm trying to keep us in the lore here, right? I'm trying to keep us in the zone, you know? But yeah, I'm talking from a story perspective. It probably is, but from a story perspective, who knows? But that's the idea of what they give you. Right, so in the end they failed and died, but not really right before Star Anomaly. That was theory, and then it tended to create. Well, yeah, exactly. So the Stargates make that bridge. I need to find. I've started going through all of the old Chronicle stuff, all the old story stuff, which dates back. I think the last one was like 2014. So I've got a couple of years of catching up there. Yeah, it is, exactly. Well, it might not be though, because we might what the good thing about theory crafting is that when a new chapter evolves, you can get excited for it, and I think that's the kind of thing that the game for some people is missing. So if you just jump into a spaceship and you go around and you kill Garistas, and then you go and kill angels, and then you go and kill, then you go into faction warfare and go and get podded, and then you might go and just spin around in a complex. Great, we can all do that. Eventually you'll reach a point and be like, oh, I'm just like, what am I doing? I don't understand it. I'm just going around and I'm dying and I'm killing stuff. But if you get into the story, like Garistas, there's a whole story for Garistas, right? So, you're in Caldari space and you're running the hideaways, you're running all these complexes, and you're just ratting, you're just killing things. But then if you go into here and then go, like, say, epic arcs, right? There's a whole story for the Garistas, right? And you can go out into Obi and run that story, but read the story, and it's a really, really good story. It doesn't show that it's completed for me, but I have done it years ago. But you've got one for everything, so you've got a Caldari story, right? But if you read the story, you can get into it. Garistas, Angel Cartel, Galante, Minmatar, Amar, and then obviously we know about the Bloodstained Stars. But I think there's going to be a bridge here with the Triglavians. I want to see a chapter 4. Really excited for a chapter 4. And I think the more that people do this kind of thing, where we stop the Triglavians in high sec, right? So think about it this way, right? Edencom have failed. They've lost all the systems, yeah? So they've gone into hiding now. And, there's no ship technology available. There's no DED LP or anything, right? So you can blow this out now. So what's next? Right, so if you read the lore, the 4 empires are getting frustrated. If you listen to the last video, the empires are getting frustrated about what's going on. So who are we? I fly for the Caldari. So I'm part of the 4 empires. I am Caldari. Just as whoever it is, Amar, Minmatar, you are the part of the empire, right? So who's getting frustrated? You are, because they're ganking your spaceships, and you're getting annoyed because you're losing transport ships, you're losing stuff in high sec. So if you're losing stuff in high sec and you fly for an empire, you are the empire that's getting frustrated, right? So the 4 empires are getting frustrated, everyone in the game is getting frustrated. There you go, there's your story. So what's going to happen? Edencom have failed, so the empire have taken over, right? So Edencom have failed, the empire is taking over, right? So we're taking matters into our own hands now because Edencom aren't doing anything. So the Caldari, me, is now going killing Triglavians, right? So chapter 4 is going to be hopefully a spin-off on that. Or there might not even be a chapter 4. It might be a whole different story. I don't know. But this is the emergent threats. Let me just see. This is a good video. So I have another question. I don't know if you're into industry. Yeah, I'm into industry. I used to have an indie char. Recently I just tried to make subsystems in high sec and was denied. Subsystems require drifter technology, right? So I assume that you've bought all the mats and stuff like that. Let's have a look at the blueprints. Ship modifications. I don't even know if you can get where you get the blueprints from now. Can you even do that? Don't know, my friend. I'll have a look. I've never built subsystems, so I'm not sure. You might have been denied for a reason, and you'd have to give me a little bit more information on that. Maybe you might need a POS, maybe to. Well, it used to be. We used to have to build them in a POS. And you might need something. Don't know. I'll find out for you though. The real question is what's next. Yeah, so that we've just killed that. I was going to say we'd love to see an ignition with the classic empires. Yeah, Amar Caldari versus Galante. Still going on in faction warfare. I'd like to see a faction warfare overhaul. That would be really good. Yeah, the friction between the fractions is because of the Triglavians, allegedly. They're getting tired of everything what's going on because the trade routes are getting collapsed. Take advantage, yeah, exactly. So, emerging threats. Okay, so this is the FanFest trailer. This is a good video. I like this one.
There is a strange, I don't know what you call it exactly, anomaly, a light anomaly, a star anomaly. And apparently the closer you get to Jove space, the better you can see it.
Yeah, so the closer you get to Jove space.
It has been nicknamed Caroline's Star.
Whatever happened there is massive.
What caused that whole thing to happen?
Jovian stargates have gone offline.
Gone offline? Just like the Triglavians, right?
All those things have been scanning everything that comes near them.
The unidentified structures that have been popping up and disappearing.
They are listening to you, preparing to explore, preparing for war.
Is it possible that the sleepers have found a way to break away from the construct?
It's a high
What
sec.
they might do out of self-defense. Maybe the sleepers are the ones needing the body parts so that they can reconstruct bodies, because their actual bodies have withered away.
You see what I'm saying? So it has all the stuff here. Look. So this is a Triglavian, isn't it?
There is a strange,
where?
I don't know what you call it exactly.
Look, watch.
Jovian stargates have gone
offline. Super liminal event. Did you see that? You see that? Look, what does this say? So this is 2015, right? 2015 for Jove Empire, super liminal event origin. What's going on with Triglavians? Liminal events. Don't know a massive amount about it, but here we go. Look, that there tells me there's some kind of link. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we're just theory crafting into a load of rubbish, but it's a great story, right? So you can get subsystem blueprints and contracts. Let's have a look. Contracts. Subsystem. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to have a look into it, but it's such a long time since I've done anything like that. So I was thinking, not a past, but do I need to be in low? You might be, yeah. But then have you got all the materials, and are you sure you're in the right plant and stuff like that? I'll have a look for you though, and I'll let you know definitely. Yeah, well, I think that's coming, to be honest. What event do they say is found an anomaly in space time to call a foundation secure? Exactly. Yeah, there you go. It looked like, yeah. Well, the Caroline, I think it's the Caroline Star, North Caroline Star, or something like that. I don't know whether you can go out there or not, but there was a. If you looked in the video, have I still got it paused? No, I've shut it down now. Yeah, like I say, it could have been. I don't know. I need to look back at the story and have a look. But like I say, there's a big story, isn't there? Let's pop this in there. Okay, so we've been talking about all sorts, and we're at the 2-hour mark, so I'm going to have to shoot. But thank you, it's been awesome. I really enjoyed it. And according to this, we got 101 million. So 2 hours on the stream, 2 hours 8 minutes, so we're less 15 minutes. So say we've been doing it for 2 hours, we've been talking, haven't been running for the last 45 minutes, and we've got 101 million. So that's 50 million per hour. I would say we've only actually been doing sites for an hour, so I'd say 100 million or 120 million-ish, maybe. So yeah, even if somehow the Trigs chase this and harvest the star, I'm pretty sure they didn't make it go super. I mean, well, are the Trigs drifter hive that's gone bad? Could be. Let's say, for example, the drifters or the hoves are a hive connected hive, and it could be a virus, because there's all 3 different empires talking in the thing. Have a look at the video and see what you think, because I think something's coming that none of us expect, I reckon. So that's me. I hope you've enjoyed it tonight. It's been good for me. Really good chat. Nice to talk about the EVE history and stuff like that. And it's been awesome. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for watching. If you are here watching the rerun, if you hit the like, subscribe, comment, bits and bobs, you can join in the conversation. You guys drop the I'm not sure if it works off live chat, but you could always start your conversation in the comments after the video is ended. Maybe tomorrow, once it's rendered and stuff like that and it's uploaded, and we could carry on the conversation about the history in the comments. It'd be quite nice to start that in a comment thread on the video, and that would be pretty awesome. And I'm hoping to do another stream soon. I don't do these very often for family reasons and stuff like that. So you know, I try my best to get as much content out there, and I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, sorry, last call DBNX. So that was last call, last orders. So anyway, I'll see you soon.